Here's hoping to third time being the charm. Welcome everybody to Loch Briar Knits Podcast. This is episode 59 and this is take 3 of trying to get my intro down without totally screwing up. Welcome to all the new and returning viewers. Thanks so much for checking us out, and for those that are returning, for keep coming back. Despite all my kerfuffle with my entries. No, not entries. Intros? Oh my god. Why do you people keep coming back? Did I say my name? I'm Kelly. Hi. We are trying a little bit of a different setup this time. Usually I'm kind of stuck in the corner back there, but that doesn't leave me a lot of wiggle room. So, and I'm going to adjust how I'm sitting right now because there. Yeah, so now you can actually see a little bit of the yarn stash too, and we got some little blinky lights, which were mostly hidden back there and kind of out of view, so you didn't really see those much. Yeah, so just a little bit of a new setup. I'm going to try it out. I kind of like it. Did I say it's July 13th, 2019? I think I did. Okay, I think we're ready to move on. Let's move on to the meat of the podcast, shall we? Because intros, not my strong suit. So, using my shop in the corner mug again, I had showed you guys a really nice pottery mug cup sort of thing that I'd purchased, or my husband had purchased for me last week. And I was drinking my coffee out of that earlier, so I had to switch mugs because I could have washed it, but mixing it up a little. As usual, drinking my Lemon Thriller President's Choice tea, which I realized I've only 3 tea bags left, and so, you know, clearly a trip to the grocery store is in hand. So, let's get down to it. I have a foe. I finished my long, languishing, stripy socks. These things fit perfect. I don't know what I did exactly different. I mean, my socks usually fit good, but these fit just to perfection. And I don't know what I did that was different. But these were self-striping socks, and I couldn't find who the dyer was. And then when I was cleaning out something else, I found the ball band. So I'll put my glasses on for this one. All right, so it is, I'm pretty sure German. But it is like right there. I don't speak German, but I'm pretty sure that second word there is self-striping. So, and it was from, oh my god, I'm going to mess up the name, because Garnbutiken Fortuna. There you go. And I got Nat written on there because I was originally, that's my niece. She really loves the color purple, and so I was going to make these socks for her, but then I ended up knitting her the Electric Shazam ones, which had purple in them. So, but I love these socks. They were a lot of fun to knit with, and I don't know why it took me so long. I think I just kind of stuck them in a project bag and was kind of switching over to knitting socks for Christmas in that mad rush, and just forgot that I had them. So, yeah, that's it. They're off the needles, and I love them, and they fit perfect, and I love the color. So that's really, it's just like straight up vanilla sock. There's not really much to say about that, other than I love them. I'll give you that's a close-up of the yarn, so it's like kind of a dark purple with speckled. Eye partridge heel. And that's about it. Peeps. That's all we got. I'm going to slap these bad boys on my feet. I'm not going to wait for the weather to cool off. Although actually right now, today is cold. Not cold, but it's cold for July. It's just damp and kind of gross. But we had about 3 days last week where it was stinking hot. Like you couldn't move it was just like, it was uncomfortable hot and humid. It was probably, I think with the Humidex, it was like 34, 35 degrees Celsius. It was like, and that's not a dry heat, people. That's like a wet, sticky, disgusting heat. And I love summer, but I would take a February sleet storm over that kind of heat, because you can't do anything. So you literally end up looking for the coolest place in your house to hide, or going out and finding air-conditioned buildings to do stuff in, which is what I did, which means you're not even outside enjoying it. So what's the point? You can't do anything. But then it kind of turned into a nice, comfortable 25 degrees, 23 to 25 degrees, low humidity. That's the sweet spot. So it did end up last Sunday. Finally, it kind of cooled off a little bit, which was nice because then we got our bikes out and we did some bike riding. And if you follow me on Instagram, which by the way, all my social media links will be right down below, I posted some pictures of the trail that we were biking on. That was our first bike ride out. So my husband has to get some adjustments made to his bike because it just doesn't fit him properly. And he's kind of like this on it. It's not good. Anyway, socks are done. These are going to be put into rotation. And so because I've changed my setup, I don't have my usual table to set stuff on. So go that way. What else have I done? Oh, yes. So the Granito sweater by Joji Locatelli. Oh, shit. It's going to sleep. I knew that would happen. Oops, there. So for the Granito sweater by Joji Locatelli, I'm knitting that in my Knit Pick Stroll Tweed in the Indigo Heather colorway, which is like this beautiful, it's kind of a deep purple, but you can sort of see some bluish undertones to it in the right light. Okay, there we go, doing the tuck. So the Granito sweater, and I don't have this printed off in color, but this is Joji Locatelli. It has pockets on the sides, both the sides here. And I was kind of debating whether or not I wanted to do the pockets. And I ended up opting not to, which I'm fine with. I'm okay with that. Especially when I kind of saw the work involved. And then I was like, meh, I feel like I just want to keep on knitting. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to nix the pockets and then just keep on going. So right now I am, oops. So I'm kind of at the point where the pockets, I'm going to stand up a little bit here. Oops, row counter. So I'm at the part where I think you started for the pockets. It'd be right about here. So basically I just keep knitting now down to the hem. So it's just going to be a straight stocking stitch knit, except for like where I do the detailing here. So I think if you're doing the pockets, you stop doing this part here because the pocket sort of goes in that area, but I'm just going to carry it right down to the hem and just keep on going. I love it though. I love this yarn. Love it. Let's see if I can, the lights might blow it out. I'm down in the basement, so I gotta use these lovely lights. Look at that. Ooh, woo, shiny. But I love the tweed. And it's just super soft. If you've never knit with Knit Pick Stroll Tweed, it is a really inexpensive yarn, but it's a beautiful yarn. I've got, I don't know if you can't really see it here. Let's see if we can. So you can see I've got like a little array amassed here of the stroll tweed. So I do love it. I've got the barn red color, the Prussian blue, the dill heather, and oh, I forget what that other one is. Let me see if I can. No, that's all gonna come tumbling down. I don't know. So I did kind of rearrange before. Like this area here was the only stuff that had kind of yarn exposed, and the rest were in sections here. But I found I was kind of forgetting what I had, and then, you know, you'd end up, like, I have a double amount of the barn red. I think I'm calling that by the wrong name, but barn door, barn red, barn heather, red barn. Okay, that's gonna bug me now. Okay, let's see what's it called. It is barn door heather. I wasn't wrong. So I had asked for some of this for Christmas, and my husband got me a sweaters quantity. And then Knit Picks were having a sale on, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I wanted some of that barn red. So I ordered another sweaters quantity. So now I have 2 sweaters quantity. So I may possibly double stranded, or I may use some of it in like a striped one, sweater, something, which we will talk about later. Let's stay focused, Kelly. We're on whips. So I'm gonna do a little work on this today. I would love to get, let's see if there. I'd love to get down. I don't think I have too much further to go. Maybe like, maybe like that much to get it kind of to where I want it to fall. And I'll stop before I get to the length that I want, obviously, because this is gonna stretch out when you block it, and I don't want it to stretch and be like too long. I like my sweaters to hit right on the hip bone. I find that's kind of a good length for me. So I'm really enjoying this, especially now that I'm sort of at the point where I can just go along. I do have, and I put it here now because I dropped it. There it is. So there's 2 main rows, and you just basically keep repeating them in order to get the slip stitch detail here. But the thing is, you have to know whether you're slipping or whether you're knitting, and so in order for me to keep track of that, because I can't, I mean, I could stop and look, but I don't want to have to stop and look, so I just like use the little row counter and go 1 2 1 2, and I know if I'm on an odd row I do this, if I'm on an even row I do the other. So that's been a lifesaver. So that's, I've only used, I'm trying to think now, I thought I was putting the bands in here. I think I'm on my third ball, and where'd I put it here now? I'm only like about halfway through, and I still have 3 balls left, so I'm definitely going to have some leftovers. I wonder what those would, oh, those would make a nice fall stripy sweater, wouldn't they? Oh. What do you think? Yeah. I think that would look nice. Oh, okay. We've got a solution to the extra sweaters quantity of yarn. So that is the Granito sweater by Joji Locatelli. And oops, do I have everything? Yep. That is in my loop bag. Now I've had serious cast-on-itis this week, but I have not cast on anything new. However, I'm gonna. Next up is the Courage Shawl by Shannon Cook. And I don't have this in color either because my color cartridge was running low. But this is what it looks like, and it's the Courage Shawl by Shannon Cook. And then the gray color is the Barocco Ultra Alpaca, which again, it was a pretty good price. So I think the whole shawl may cost I don't know. I'm trying to do math in my head, but that's always a losing battle. So let's not even go there. And anybody who watched the last podcast, I had switched out my colors. Let me close that before everything falls out of the... Okay. I had switched out my colors because the one of the main colors just did not mesh. It faded with the gray that I was already using. It faded into that. So I feel like I'm moving around a lot. Look at the camera, Kelly. Hey. So I had to switch over to a 50 inch needle because this bad boy's getting big. So I think I can do this without. So I switched it out for a, nope, not green, Kelly. That is, sorry, I'm really discombobulated here. What's the best way to show this? Here we are. So I switched out the color that was sort of speckled but had a gray base with the orange. And I am so incredibly happy with how this is knitting up. Looks like a poncho right now. So this is kind of a burgundy claret color. Then this is like obviously the orange and the gray. Now she uses a speckled yarn in hers, and I'm basically the orange has taken place of the speckled. But I love how it's turning out. So right now I'm in the second section, and it uses slip stitch for the detail here, and you can kind of see the little switches in color here. So I am now starting, so you can kind of see you've got this and this. So I'm now starting this section again. And so I'm probably about maybe 2/3 of the way through, I think. And of course, it's getting big. So the rows are taking a little longer to do now. But I'm really enjoying it. I had to stop. I couldn't work on it when it got really hot there for 4 days. So I've been trying to play a little catch up because there's 2 other shawls that I really want to get on the needles. But I really like how the slip stitch, let me bring this up here. See if you can, oops. So you can kind of see how it creates this really cool detail, and then this here is all slip stitch as well, slip stitch but mosaic knitting, which I'm really enjoying. It's a lot of fun. I do find I can't just slip knit, because at some point my brain's gonna get distracted for like 5 seconds, and then I'll go like slip knit, and then everything will be off. So I actually have to, when I'm doing it, I'm literally saying slip knit, slip knit, slip knit. Which is why I don't knit it in public. But I love this. Like, the bigger it gets, the more and more I love the color play of these. It's going to be such a beautiful shawl for fall. Just the colors in it, just, I don't know, they just are cozy, they're warm. I love them. So the yarns I'm using are in here somewhere. Da da da, da da da, and maybe. Okay, so this is, I don't know if they have colors. Well, I mean, they have colors. But this is color 2475. And this one is color 2425. So one of these is the orange. And one of these is the kind of claret burgundy color. And that's Cascade Yarns. So these are a pretty good price. So it's going to be a fairly economical shawl to do. I'm probably going to have, I think, a fair bit left over, which is good because this is going to be great yarn for doing like hats and mittens in for the winter. So I've already got some yarn for my Christmas knitting already. So Christmas in July. So those are kind of the 3 projects, that have been getting the main amount of attention. I was sort of powering through trying to get the sock finished over the last couple of days because I was like so determined I was going to have them done for the podcast. But I did a little dyeing on the weekend, and I was just trying out some new techniques. So, oops, hang on. I did a little experimentation last weekend, and I was just kind of trying a bit of a new technique. So this is one of the skeins. I'm trying to get all the colors in there. So it's blowing out here, but this is kind of like a rich purple color. Let's see if I bring it back here. It's a little better. In green, and it's got a little tiny bit of white in it. Little tiny bit of white. So this worked out great. I think when I do it again, I may try to eliminate the white completely. Although I am curious, that might look kind of neat, having a little tiny pop of white kind of show up a bit. So what I did on the next one was sort of a similar process, but here's what happened. I was not paying attention to what I was doing. So I had 2 pots with the 2 colors in it that I needed. And I was doing kind of both of these at the same time. I was doing kind of one end of one end of the other. And I accidentally put the one skein in the second color for this instead of the second color I had picked out for it, which totally ruined it because the 2 colors just really didn't go together at all. It was just, no, it was a disaster. And as soon as I realized I did it, I was like, oh crap. And I was pulling them out, but the color had already kind of gone in. It took me, it wasn't like I put them in and then realized. I kind of put them in, and then it was, I would say maybe about a minute, but it was enough for the color to kind of soak into the bare yarn. So I was like, oh crap, like I just totally wrecked. And I usually when I'm doing a tester run, I do like 3 skeins of yarn in the 3 of my most popular bases. So I'll have like a skein of the classic sock, a skein of the gush, which is the MCN, and the skein of the Twisted Sister, which is the BFL. So I was like, crap, I totally wrecked it. What am I going to do? So I pulled it out and I thought, well, maybe I can still dip it in the color, and it may take, because the color I had just dipped it in by mistake was a lighter color. And so I tried that, but it wasn't really taking the color. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, I don't want to lose 3 skeins of yarn. Like, that's expensive. So I thought, okay, I'll just do an over dye and then I'll keep these for myself, because I thought I'll over dye them with a dark color and hopefully that'll maybe even things out. And I didn't know if I over dyed it with the dark color, if it would just totally become that dark color with maybe like some hints of shading. But what we got, people, was this. So let's see if I get there. This is amazing. And I don't know if I can recreate it because it was a mistake. So, like, let's see if you can, like, look at this. It's like kind of eggplant and khaki. And it's just really amazing. Like, I was just totally amazed with it. And all I kept thinking was, I don't know if I can recreate it, but I want a sweater's quantity of this for myself. So I am going to give it a try. I'm going to try to recreate this. And I'm going to write down exactly what I do so that if it works, I can keep doing it, because oh my God, I love this. And I decided what I also did when I was dyeing these was I put in a mini skein with it as well, so that I could have like a little mini skein to do little mini swatches. So show you the first color, this color here, I'm calling the Joker because the colors, just the purple and green, remind me of the Joker from the comic books. So these haven't been blocked yet. I just finished these this morning, but so I really liked the effect that you get when you knit with this. I love the color blend on these two. And then this one, so I called this one Muddy Waters because it just reminded me sort of murky, muddy water on the banks, like of a river or something. A muddy river. So I don't know how well this will show because the colors are sort of muted and dark. But I'm going to take some pictures of them for the Etsy shop and see if I hold it. I don't know if I can do this. Wait. Improvise. I don't know if this will work. There we go. That sort of shows it a little bit without the light kind of poking through. But oh my God, I want a sweater out of this so bad. So I'm going to attempt to redo that. And in the meantime, I'm going to probably have a couple of skeins to put in the shop. And I was going to do a shop update. It may be around the 1st of August before I have the next shop update. So, baby swatches. There we go. So, yeah, that was my brilliant mistake. And I'm going to be so upset if I can't recreate it. I mean, I know what I did wrong. There was a whole timing aspect to it, and I just don't know if I can recreate that, but I'm going to give it a shot. So, and if not, I think I know what I might be able to do to get something really close. So it's not a complete lost cause. Set my swatches there. But here's the 2 little mini cakes. Love me a good mini cake. Ta-da! So So I think I'm going to do that kind of going forward is I have a cone of yarn, and I've had it for a couple of years now because the idea of just sort of trying to weigh the amounts and make skeins out of them has just been apparently more than I'm willing to deal with when I have bare yarn that's already skeined. But I thought that would be a really good thing to use as far as just pulling out enough to make a little mini skein to do a swatch with. So, and then I'll just have keep a little mini skein of it for myself and put it in, scrappy project, which I haven't been working on. Or scrappy socks or, something like that. So that was, that was my happy mistake. So that is, got a little cedar block on the thing. I'll stick that in there. Oh. So, so I have to pick the yarn for my next socks, and I'm kind of leaning towards this one here, which I showed on the podcast last week, which was my new purchase. So I may do that. I also need to start thinking about Christmas projects. So I know, July, but I'm not rushing to get stuff done. So years ago, I had designed kind of a fingerless mitt pattern, and I made, I would make the mitts. I would make the mitts and I would sell them in my Etsy shop before I started hand dyeing. I sold just kind of simple, basic sort of knit things. But the fingerless mitts were probably my biggest seller. So I want to turn that into a pattern. I knit them flat, but I want to knit them in the round and add a thumb gusset to them, or a thumb to them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on just kind of transferring what I had into an in the round design. And I bought, because come on, look at these Christmas. Hello. Could we be a little more rustic Christmas? I don't think so. So I'm going to use these two yarns to do it, and I'm thinking I might combine the two colors on the mitts rather than do one in red, one pair in red, one in green. I'm going to combine the colors. So this is Sugar Bush Shanty. So it's a worsted weight yarn, and it's a linen. I was going to say, where are my glasses? 75% superwash merino and 25% linen. So I don't know how linen will work as far as for a mitten. I don't know if it'll be warm enough. I think it will. I think it'll be fine because it's 75% superwash merino. But oh my god, I love these colors. And it's, let's see if you can. So you can kind of see how it's a little kind of rustic looking. It's more green than what it shows here. My camera hates green for some reason. Let's see if you can really kind of see it in the red here. So it's got a nice sort of rustic, I don't know, woodsy feel to it. Speaking of, my shawl design as well has not gotten any love at all, but I am hoping to get some put into it this summer. I would love to have it ready for test knits by the end of the fall. I don't know if that's going to work or not. It's a time-consuming process. I mean, I didn't exactly think I was going to whip it up really quickly. I knew it was going to take time, but the mental torture of trying to figure out how to get the pattern you want to fit in the number of stitches you have, And just, yeah, so it's a bit of a brain twist, but one of the colors I'm going to use in it is the woodsy, my woodsy color, because it's sort of got a bit of a woodsy motif, shall we say, theme to it. So this has got, I showed you guys this last week, but for any of you new viewers, so this gives you a bit of a sense how woodsy is knitting up. I absolutely love this colorway, and I was thinking, I actually want a sweater's quantity out of this as well. This skein, which is in my Gush MCN base, I'm going to use as one of the colors in the shawl. So I think this will be color A, and then the other two will be solid colors. So I think the other color is going to be maybe, I was thinking maybe a chocolatey brown, which will sort of blend with the browns in here. And then I think the next color is going to be kind of like maybe a deep purple, almost like an aubergine maybe. I don't know. I'll have to see how those, kind of hold those two or three up together and just see how they blend. But there, that's a good way of doing it. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that before. There you go. There's woodsy. I just realized I have nail polish on the side of my finger. That's what happens when you do it really quick and then you rush and go do something else and end up painting your skin. So yeah, so I think that's what that's going to be used for. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, sorry, stab myself here. Boop. I'm going to start knitting up what I have so far for section 1, and I have section 1 and section 2 planned out, so I want to knit them up and see if like what I'm envisioning in my head sort of translates onto the yarn. So yeah, so that's where that's going. But I am gonna, I think, dye some more of it and make myself a sweater's quantity for a pavement sweater. So what else do we got going on? Oh yeah, so other plans. The two shawls that I'm dying to knit. I had mentioned the Color Craze shawl. It's way over there, my pattern book. But the Color Craze shawl by Tammy Gore. And here is my plan. So, okay, this is going to be crinkly because I haven't taken these out. Okay, so for the Color Craze shawl, here's my idea. I tried to take the sticker off so I can get a full look at the minis. Here's the minis I'm using. They're like a orange kind of fade thing. Was that not a great explanation? It's kind of an orange fade thing, but it's like that lovely sort of rusty orange brown that I love. So I've got, these are going to be kind of the striping section, and this would really make probably more sense if I had a print off, but I'll try to remember to insert a picture of what the shawl looks like here. So now that you know what the shawl looks like, I am going to use these as the kind of like striping effect. And then I am going to use, for the darker colors, for the main color, with the darker stripes, I'm going to use kind of this color, which is, these here are by Sweet Paprika. It's her Crescendo mini sets. And for the lighter ones, I'm going to use this kind of deep aubergine purple. So let me just see if see if I can So see if you can, so for the first three, I'll blend with this as the background. And for these three, I'll use this as the background, which I think is going to add a really neat contrast. I think that's what I decided. Or did I decide I was going to go that way? No, yeah, light with the dark, dark with the light. Sorry about the crinkling. So I am so excited to get started on that shawl. But here's the thing. It involves brioche, which I've never done. So I found a really good tutorial on YouTube. I found a few of them. And if I remember, I'll link the one here. So I am actually going to do some tester swatches of brioche to get the process done. I'm also going to be putting a lifeline in when I get to the brioche sections, because from my understanding, it's really hard to correct your mistakes in brioche. And if I do make a mistake, I'm probably going to have to rip right back. So I want a lifeline in there. Which, by the way, let me see if I can... So in the Chiagu interchangeables, you can see the little... So you can kind of see how the Chiagos have like this little hole right here. And, you know, normally that's what you put the little pin through so that you can tighten your things on. But what I did not realize is it's also so that you can put yarn through and create a really easy lifeline as you're knitting. So guess what I'm going to be doing? That seems like a really reasonable, easy way to do it. So I'm going to make sure that I do that anytime I do the brioche. But I am going to do some swatches first, because apparently I am just all about swatches lately. Yet I never swatch when I do a sweater. Anyway. So yeah, I might try doing a like brioche swatch this weekend. I'm really curious to see if I can do it. I'm sure I can. I just have to pay attention while I'm doing it. But so that is the one shawl that I'm going to do. The other shawl, and oh my God, I'm totally blanking. But it was another Tammy Gore one. I bought it. Oh, what was it called? And here's the thing. When you look at Tammy Gore's shawls, it's like falling down a rabbit hole, because I think I purchased 3 of them. But I think this one is a new one. So it would have come out after the Color Craze shawl. I'll try to remember. I'll put a little thing here. But it's beautiful, and it's got kind of like these multi colors, and I'm like, I have got a bunch of scrap yarn that would look stunning in this, and now I've got to cast it on. But I think I might start the Color Craze one first. But then Hohi Locatelli came out with a cowl that I really want to do. And also there's the hipster cowl that she did, but this one was the other one. And of course I'm totally blanking on that, so I'll pop it down here because I left all of my patterns upstairs. So that was kind of dumb. Anyway, but she came out with, I think it's called the Simple Summer Sweater. And it was just released, I think, yesterday. And it's like it's like the simple construction. And it's got these like big, bold stripes. And oh my God, I cannot wait to knit this. So I may cast that sweater on before I even finish the granito. You know what? I shouldn't. But I'm pretty sure I am. So maybe that's what I will do with this. No, I can't do that because I don't know if I'm going to use up all of... I don't know how much I'm going to have left over from the granito sweater. So, anyway, as you can see, there is an array. Oh, what if... Oh, yes, indeed. What if, see if you guys can see this, some gray and red. Oh, yeah. Gray and brown. No, you can't see the brown, can you? It's over there, I swear. Yeah, maybe I can't go green and red because then I'll just look like a Christmas tree. I'm okay with that in gloves, but but that would look nice. Okay, so I think we know what we're gonna do. Yeah, so that one I think is gonna get cast on possibly this week. We'll see. I may hold myself off until I at least get to Sleeve Island. Maybe that's what I'll do. Once I get to Sleeve Island on the Granito, then I can cast on the simple summer sweater. I think that's what it's called. But I really want to get one of the cowls going, and I really want to cast on the color craze shawl. So, but I don't want to have like all of these things in the needles because then I'm not going to feel like I'm finishing anything. It's like I'm just going to be picking away a little here, a little there. So I think the Courage shawl I can finish up fairly soon because it's worsted weight. So maybe that's what I'll do. Before I do the color craze shawl, I will finish the Courage shawl, but if I get to Sleeve Island, I can cast on the summer sweater because it's a summer sweater. So I might as well wear it in the summer, right? I'll wear it in the fall. It'll be all year round. I don't know if it's maybe the blend of yarn she's using that makes it a summer sweater, but I'm going to be doing it in like merino wool. So anyway, I think that is all the knitting. I'm trying to think if I already showed you the yarns I purchased, the mini skein set in the green and the red. So yeah, so I think that's about it. So life stuff, not much going on. We did get out for our first bike ride of the year on Sunday. We biked for about an hour. I could probably get on the bike and stay on it all day, but my husband, his handlebars are almost like too far away for him just because he's got a bit of a sway in his back. So the way he has to reach, he needs the handlebars to be up a little higher so that he's not kind of like hunched like that. So he's going to take his bike in to get it fixed. And this weekend is crappy weather anyway, so yeah. So our dog breeder is breeding the dogs this week. I think she started last week actually, or yesterday, Thursday maybe. So I'm really, really hoping the breeding takes and we have a canine bopping around. If everything goes as planned, maybe by end of November. So that will be so nice to have a dog in the house again. Because it is so empty without a dog. Like, I am such a dog person that a dog without a house without a dog is just, is way too empty. So I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, everything goes as planned and we'll have a puppy before Christmas, which will be fun with the Christmas tree. Oh well, been there before, right? So that's really, there's not much going on. Work has still been insanely busy. I'm still trying to finish my book on deadline, which is like preferably before the end of the year. And that's it. That's it, just knitting away. We've got vacation coming up in, what's this? Oh God, not for another month. It's going to be like the second week of August we're on vacation. But I think we'll start going down to the summer house because my father-in-law is leaving to go back end of July, end of this month. So we'll have the month of August and a little bit of September, I think, down there. So that's going to be fantastic. I'm hoping to get the kayaks out again since I couldn't kayak last year after the great debacle of Canada Day where I tore my rotator cuff. So now that I'm fully kind of mobile and I get my strength back in it, I will be able to get out in the kayaks. And apparently the great whites are up around Nova Scotia, and that's right, when I say great whites, I mean sharks, are up around Nova Scotia a little earlier this year than before. And if anybody has watched any of the podcast episodes where I talk, I have like intense sharkophobia. If I am in an enclosed body of water that has no access to the ocean whatsoever at all, and I think shark, I got to get out of the water. Because I'm convinced somehow, some way, a shark has gotten into the water, and I can do this to myself in a pool as well, which is probably why I'm such a fast swimmer. All I used to have to do when I was swimming as a kid is think shark, and I would race I'd be like 10 years old racing the teenage boys. So nobody would race me anymore because all I had to do was think shark. I went fast. So anyway, the idea that there are sharks along the shores of Nova Scotia has got me totally freaked out. And our summer house is on the harbor, which of course has access to the ocean. And the opening isn't that far from where we're at. So that freaks me out a little. I'm out in the kayak literally looking for fins. But I'm still going to kayak. I'm just going to be like, please don't let there be sharks. Please don't let there be sharks. Please don't let there be sharks. So yeah, it'll be good to get the kayaks out again. Yeah, despite the intense sharkophobia. So that is about it. We're probably going to be doing a road trip maybe next weekend if the weather cooperates. And maybe go down to Lunenburg. It's time. We went down, where did we go the last time? Mahone Bay. Yeah, so yeah, probably do up for a little road trip down to Lunenburg. Stop into Mariner's Daughter Yarn Shop and the shop in the corner where I got my mug. Do a little early Christmas shopping, possibly for myself. Yeah, so that's about all that's going on. I'm going to let you guys go and try to get a little knitting done today while I got some time. And go get some breakfast because I haven't eaten yet. I'm really hungry. So I will see you guys next episode. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. The like button helps get the word out about the podcast so that we can kind of grow the membership. And the subscribe button lets you guys know. I think it's actually over here. It's one of these sides. This bell, click the little bell and the subscribe button, and you'll get notified when new episodes are up. So until next time, I hope you guys have a great couple of weeks, and I will see you soon. Until then, happy knitting. See ya.